I go with it.
We're rolling, bro. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Bog Cottage. This is our goal in Killangan in County Kildare at starting a small poultry farm and a homestead. There's two little kiddies and myself and herself at it. So I'll introduce you to a couple of chickens now. Right. That's a very small view of what we have. We have a mix between Cochins, which is what we want to breed. That's our rooster, he's known as the General. And then we have a couple of black copper Morans, which I'm not even going to try and catch. And when we first came out, we got rescue hens. They're from ex-battery hens, so that's those 5. There should be a 6th around somewhere. But yeah, that's what we're hoping to get started on. At the minute, we're getting our field ready and getting cut down to have all of our birds kept out there separate, so we know what breed is where and when. And they're in the middle of the moult right now, so they don't look exactly top notch. And that's our little mama call look in the background. It's been unusually quiet. Right, so we might as well take a tour. I suppose to show you the chicks. We have 28 chicks, somewhere in the line of 28 chicks here. So we'll go and have a gander at them. Ignore all the mess we're constantly hearing out. But these are a cross of Cochins, and we have Somanis mixed with lavenders in there as well. Smoky up on the top straight away. That's our lavender mixed with the Somani and then a purebred Somani beside them. And we have 2 different stages of chicks in here. So we have our smaller Cochins and then we have these guys in here which are much bigger. They're a good couple of weeks old now, nearly a month and a half old. But in the very corner of the shed, show you next, we have our Cochin Mammy, which in the next video, or in this video, is the chick underneath her. Just it's a bit dark in here for this. Hey Mammy. Hey Mammy. Nothing starting yet. But I can hear them. See, we got some sound. Alright, Mama. Alright. Sweet.
Yeah. Come on. Work with that.
Well, people can see them now. Yeah. And we have some that are definitely making noise. So we see how we get on. Next day or two. 16 eggs, I think, in total. All Cochins. All from a blue rooster, either a blue hen or a blue splash hen. One or the other. We have no cuckoos in this brood. So we'll see. She was sitting on her chicks at the time. So we see how we get on. Down you go, Mammy. She's lovely. She's gorgeous. She's as gentle. And she's well thick with us. Alright, go on. I've had enough of that. Had enough of that. Yeah, sweet. They haven't a clue. This man is not where to stay. They go wherever they want. These guys should be out with the bigger chicks now soon, out with their mommy and daddy. But this is our start of hopefully our Cochin stock. Most of what's in there is blue with cuckoo, as I said, and then the next ones we have blue splashes coming along. Not a pretty bird. Anyways. Good idea what's in there. Easy, baby. Easy. So that's our cuckoo Cochin, which might end up coming out entirely black or full cuckoo. They are well handled normally, actually. But we chose Cochins because we have 2 very small kids, one 2 and one 4, and basically we wanted a breed that was friendly, and especially with a rooster that wasn't going to be aggressive. And in all the time we were looking them up, one thing that we noticed was that Cochins came up time and time again for a very farm friendly breed. And they're big, they're hardy, they're cold hardy as well, which means we can keep them up around the farm in the winter and not worry too much about them. Don't like the heat, and they get bleached, as all of our blue pens have changed colour. But those white guys are a blue splash, and if I'm honest, they're the favourite.
For the white go yellow.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, true that. Oh, let me get out of here. Sweet. What's left in here? I suppose we show you what's going to be the pens at the end of today. At the minute, we're just trimming and trying to get the place ready before winter comes in. Oh, and we have a big clatter of noisy ducks as well. Hello guys. So we have, I'll say it loud, we have 12 khaki Campbells, and we have 2 Cayugas, and we have 2 little Pollock drakes that are hanging out, one inside and one out. Hey. Yeah. And this is our youngest call, the second youngest call duck. This is a little boy. He's going to be a mallard when he grows up. He might show you his wings, which are just stunning. But they're a beautiful bird. Call ducks are one of the things we never expected to have, and I don't think I'll ever be without. I don't think I'll ever not have them. They're full of character. Every morning we let them out, they go for a fly around the property and come back. Unless, I think we've lost one road fatality since we moved out. One of our first call ducks learned to fly, made a mistake and decided to have a battle with a truck.
Lost.
So that's them. And our 2 Cayugas are the nicest ducks we had. Those are 2 jet black guys. Hey, stop an egg. If you want to get into ducks, remember they don't know where to lay eggs or when. We get 9 of these pretty religiously. 7 is our bad day, but they're a tasty, tasty egg, and they're meant to be a baker's delight. Just give them 2 or 3 days. I bring them up past you, so. Pretty good. That is pretty good. Right, last but not, I suppose it is the least, it's 6 empty pens, which will be full of Cochins and Cochins and Morans. I'm pretty sure is all we're going to have, other than the ducks this winter. We have a leg bar and a few misbreeds that are going up for sale. They're going down to a poultry sale in the next couple of days, and hopefully we're really down to just the breeds that we want. We have speckled and copper Morans at the minute. And our biggest white rooster. Yeah. Probably throw in that we have the call duck with 1 wing behind you. He's not big enough for the other ducks yet, and he'll never be flying, so we don't have to worry about clipping him. He was born with just the 1 wing. 1 full wing. And this is an absolute mess at the minute. The whole field is a mess at the minute. It's only an acre, so trying to make a poultry farm work on an acre is not going to be easy. We're coming up on 13 months on the land now, which again, most of our land was taken up by a horse in the beginning. So now that she's gone and sold, we have room to start with the poultry and stay going. We just don't have the land for horses, that's just the truth. So this will be the first pen. This is all Cochins, believe it or not, hopefully. We raised up our first out of touch of Cochins on our cuckoo hen in here a couple of weeks back, but they're inside now just out of the heavy rains. So we've got 6 on the way up, and hopefully Cochins, Morans. We'll have a dormant paddock as well then between everybody, and then we're going to go down the back of the land. We'll have a large pond hopefully by the end of the winter, and that'll be our duck section as well. I don't know if this type of fencing is going to work for poultry. Somebody will tell me yay or nay along the lines, but they'll be stepped closer down into the ground once we finish trimming, and we'll have to see. Because the Cochins are such a big breed, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, they don't fly at the best of times. Our 4 Morans are up the field there. They're potential roosters, we don't know yet, but they're going to be clipped. They've been kept in the field since we brought them home, which has been great. They've been completely isolated from our other birds and they behave themselves just fine. So we're going to get these guys clipped up, get our 6 Moran hens up and meet them. So that's 3 speckles, 4 speckled hens? Yeah, we had 3, but I found 1 on the road. So everybody claims I stole her, but I definitely found her. So we have her there.
The opposite of road, Ken.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Road live.
Hey, look, a win is a win is a win. So this will be the Moran's pen, and over time it will get a little more stylish. We'll make additions, we'll put some stuff in to keep them interested in what's going on. The IBC tank is not just an IBC tank, it's their house. It has a hole on the far side and it's easy managing upkeep. But soon there'll be a real coop in here. For now though, this is the Moran's little house. Just for the 4 of them, and it has been for a couple of days. So yeah, we'll see. But they're lovely little birds and they don't respect the wire at all, so I'm interested to see what happens when we turn it on. There could be some cooked Moran if anyone is interested in buying 3 or 4 small roosters. Yeah, they might be cooked. But we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the property. I mean, we can keep going, but all you're going to see is more and more pens. They're all empty at the minute, but let's see if we can get them all filled up. 2 other stars that I have on the farm that we accidentally got were 2 Mandarin ducks, but they're not in colour yet, and they won't be for a couple of months. They have their own little flight down beside our row-off Jeep, parts Jeep, farm Jeep, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so once those Mandarins come into colour, they'll be the prettiest things we have on site so far. They sell very well, but they only lay about 8 eggs a year. They're very specific about where they nest, so that's just something we're going to have to try and get right before the next season comes in and they do get old enough to breed. We don't want to miss that chance with only 8 or 10 eggs a year. We'll probably take them and incubate them and hopefully get another little hatch out of them. I won't imagine to breed them for another 2 years, because next year I want to get another couple of Mandarin males in, depending on how well the hatch goes. And we'll see, can we breed from there. It'd be nice to have ornamental ducks on site. Other than that, the only ornamental duck is the kind of the cayuga. Again, we'll keep them purebred, keep them separate from the khakis. But yeah, that's our plan so far. Like I said, ignore the state of the place, everything is in progress. I mean everything. If you can get a view of these guys, you're going to do well. So there's only one thing you need to know about them when they're babies, and that is the one you're looking at with the red beak is a male, and he's a little lighter in colour. And the female has an entirely grey beak, and she's much more, I suppose, bland or boring in colour as she ages, but then she's a nice look to her as well. These ducks, if you don't know what Mandarin ducks are for any reason at all, you need to look them up. You need to find out what these guys look like when they're grown up, because it's nothing like what they are right now. They're extremely skittish and flightish, so too much movement around here and they'll fly off. And often then I don't want to tip them, because that flying, that reaction where they fight or fly, that's only happening because I don't know the birds that well yet. I'm hoping within a couple of weeks time or a couple of months time. They are new here, they're only about 2 weeks here now, or 3 weeks here, so I'm hoping within the next little while they start to get used to me. Yeah, I think that's all we really have for now. I'm hoping the next video I have we don't bring you around the house at all to show you stock and what we have. Everything is up here and ready to rock and roll. We're going to miss out on some bits. I won't have the pond dug before the winter. I'd like to. I have the liner there, but I don't think I'll have a machine in and get it dug. So for now, it'll just be getting them up and getting them penned in and getting some solid coops up there as well, so that we know that winter's not going to be a problem. Right now, we've been battling red mite. And for anyone who's had to do that, it's an absolute pain in the arse from one end of the day to the other. You're changing bed and you're moving coops, you're dousing chickens in powder and whatever knows what. So at the middle of that, we also got an infection, which our vet told us was like bronchitis. And that infection came from a starling population that's local that seemed to have it. So all of our chickens have been treated for bronchitis. Some of them are still sneezing and coughing a little bit, and it's not ideal coming into winter. So we're just going to have to keep a real close eye on them and try and get them warmed up. I don't think it should be a problem. I think they're all hardy enough at this stage now to work off something like that. It just was a pity the antibiotic didn't finish it all off. But yeah, that's our first introduction. That's the Bog Cottage. Like I said, I'm the only one on film today. I imagine Sarah and my 2 kids will be at some stage as well. Whether they're shooting or accidentally stumble upon it. You'd definitely hear my son from a mile away. So most videos will contain background noise from Ferdia. But that is life at the Bog Cottage. Anyway lads, thanks very much for watching, and hopefully, like I said, you follow along and you see the progress, and from week to week this should be changing dramatically. So yeah, that's the intention.